Okay, we're going to look at how to set up a pitched instrument using the EXS24. Obviously, you're going to need a software instrument track. Load up the EXS24 and just keep it in stereo for now. Now, once you've created that, you're going to go to the Edit window. And you'll need to go up to the option Zone and select Load Multiple Samples. The pack I'm just about to find called EXS24 Good Samples. I've provided that through Moodle, but feel free to use any pitch sample that you might have lying around. To preview these, you can press the play button or just hit the space bar. And then click Add and Done at the bottom. Now in this option, we're going to use Auto Map by reading the root key from the audio file. Now Logic should then detect the pitch of the sample. And it's detected that this one is C3. And you can hear that as I play the keyboard, it's playing these samples. At the minute, pretty uninspiring. And you'll hear that it just kind of ends. So what we're going to do is add a loop to it. So go up to View, click on Zone Loop. And this can get a little bit fiddly because it's measured in samples. You'll see that at the minute it's just looping fully around the sample. So we're going to need to change the start time, and I suggest just pulling that up into the thousands. So that will help with the next step. Should be to double click on the name of the sample, and then you'll see that similar to the arrangement window, we get the orange loop marker. A little bit fiddly to grab sometimes, which is why I suggest changing that start time in the edit window. But once you find that finger icon, you can move that around to set your loop zone. But you hear that at the minute, we've got them little clicks at the start and end of the loop point. So we get this option called X-fade or crossfade. Again, this is measured in samples. We've turned that up to about 500 in this case. You hear it's a little bit smoother. A little bit jumpier when it's a low. So it's kind of just a case of playing with that until you get a crossfade amount that suits. Also worth playing around with where your loop actually is, because this will give different sorts of effects and sounds. If you do it too short, you get that really sort of punchy, jittery sound. And if it's quite long, you can hear that sort of wave action. So I'm just going to play around with this until I get a loop and a crossfade amount that I like. And then once we've done that, we can go ahead and save this instrument. The quickest way is just to go to the red X, click Save, and put this exactly where Logic wants you to put it. Obviously give it an appropriate name. And then within EXS24's main window, we can then apply some like synthesis type editing functions. So one thing we can do first off is turn the filter on and apply some cutoff. We've got an envelope down in the bottom right hand corner, can apply some attack and release. And then in the modulation section, similar to ES2, we can apply some modulation. So let's stick a LFO on the cutoff. Don't forget to turn up the amount, same as in ES2. If you don't turn up that modulation amount, it's not going to do anything. Now these LFOs don't go quite as fast as ES2, they don't go up into the hundreds, they just about touch audio range at 35 Hz. So hopefully you can see from this the potential of this instrument. Some sorts of samples that I've used this with before, I've used it with voice, which is really effective. I've also used it with things that are a little bit more out there, like the ting of a glass. So when you hit a wine glass or a drinks glass and it creates a solid tone, that's a really, really useful sample. Obviously experiment with this, see which sorts of sounds you like to use on it.